Well, this is exciting. Italo, it's amazing to have you on the Sales Confidence podcast today. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you for having me.
Really excited. So Italo Maddalozzo is the country manager for the UK and Ireland at a company called Bloobirds. He has been successfully executing B2B SaaS go-to-market strategies while boosting high-performing sales teams to achieve revenue growth across EMEA and the US. Now he is leading the UK expansion of Bloobirds and is responsible for revenue growth, hiring, and inspiring and leading a fast growth sales function. Bloobirds is the next generation all-in-one platform for prospecting. Their vision is to provide a task-based system that converts data records, company names and leads into opportunities by assisting SDRs in being precise, systematic and relevant with your market. Really excited to tell you that you have joined us today. We had an amazing night last night at Sales Confidence. You're settling here in London. What are you excited about today?
Actually, I'm glad you asked, because last night was amazing for me, not only because of the event and the speakers and the quality, but because I really saw something innovative, which is, you guys creating a platform for people to develop themselves by connecting with other talent.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about that is that I realized in that room we all share, the stress of sales, but the ambition, the drive, and it was really good to see people wanting to grow.
Amazing. No, I'm glad, and we're really excited about having you as one of our first 100 founding members. And I think it's significant because you're highly motivated as an individual, and I think that's what I'm keen to learn about more today. How you've achieved what you've achieved in your career and made the decision now to expand a business here in the UK. Just you personally. I mean, what's typically the first thing you think about when you wake up in the morning?
Well, the immediately first thing is that I should have slept earlier, but the next thing is what are my intentions for the day? Mm-hmm. I realized I was not very focused in the past, and this was affecting my performance because I was freestyling basically, or I was not connected with my vision, my purpose. So today I take some time every morning to be thankful. Mm-hmm. I think it creates a feeling of abundance in your life, and it helps manage thoughts, and then my intentions and goals for the day.
I love that. Is when you think about your continuous personal development, is there some inspiration or motivation that's motivated you to want to achieve what you've achieved in your career so far?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, learning and development is at the center of my life. It has brought me to go leap forwards, not steps, right? Companies grow exponentially, but normally people linearly. And I wanted to change that basically because the leaders I look up to or I model have had this exponential trajectory. And I fell into sales accidentally.
Okay.
Got fired from another function and job. Really happy that happened, because the first opportunity that I came across with was a sales job. And I was afraid of sales, because who would like to be on a job where your worth is equal to your last number, right? So and then I joined this call center where people were crying on the phone, coming and going because they were being fired. But for some reason, I was having a lot of fun. I mean, I was really connecting with things inside myself that I didn't know, because I was afraid of sales and I didn't want to do it. And ever since, my life took off. So that's why I'm in love with sales today.
Oh, I love that. Do you recall your first experience, like some specifics around maybe the first time you picked up the phone or?
Totally, absolutely. It wasn't a long time ago, but the process we had were so basic that we actually had a database of lists and a phone.
Wow.
So no prospecting tool, no technology, and no idea what to say based on that person or that market or that industry. And what I realized is that for me, I was overthinking. I was trying to research to make it meaningful, but the best, performance came after learning through the conversation. So failing on the conversations, that was traumatizing at the beginning because if you're not relevant to people, you're pissing them off.
Yeah.
And you get told that if
Daily.
you're talking to especially with power dominant successful people that you're trying to get 5 minutes or 5 seconds from, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the challenge.
I love that. I love someone that enjoys rejection but picks themselves back up. If you think about what you've achieved, that transition from a call center role to now being responsible for a major territory, you're really leading that growth now of Bloobirds. What things have you done at each stage of your career that's made you successful, do you think?
Yeah, totally. I'm very clear on that. So this was not an accident. First, I realized very early that if you don't learn, you don't earn in sales, right? I hired coaches with that mission. Guys, I want to go to this place and I want to go fast, right? So slowly I started becoming very clear about what I wanted in life and how I wanted to do it. And in just a few years, my income has, tripled. My success in sales with people, my way of communicating has completely changed. And I have a fixed percentage of my income that I dedicate to coaching, books, courses, development, events, because I know that if I stop, maybe my competition won't. So if you want to win in this game, you have to keep sharpening yourself.
100%, and we love that. We recognize that it takes something a little bit special to want to invest at that level in yourself. It's something that I've been amazed with, the first 100 premium sales confidence members, is that they are invested in being the best they can be. Yeah. And that takes a certain type of individual. And I think what we've recognized, while sales confidence, events, the brand is accessible to all. We want people to come in, learn, gain some content and gain some confidence. There are only a handful that really want to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And so I've been excited to learn that about yourself. Just bringing it a bit about this company today that you work for. What's kind of attracted you to Bloobirds? What got you excited about what they do?
Yeah. So this is a good question because I had just been promoted to sales director at my previous company.
Okay.
And I still moved to a smaller company, bigger risks. What happened with this company is that I felt inspired by the leaders in the mission that they had for Bloobirds. And also something that really motivates me is the size of the challenge. And this looked like a big one. Also I was going to be tasked with expanding, outside the HQ territory, which I had never done, by going to the field. So a combination of things. Also, I work with founders that could be astronauts if they wanted. So that's quite stimulating as well.
Can you just explain, for those listeners that have not come across Bloobirds, what does it do in simple terms? What's the value proposition?
Yeah. So all companies want, especially B2B SaaS, want to be able to generate as many opportunities as possible, right?
Yes.
And the way they start is with company names and leads, right? We want to help SDRs have a very good experience in turning those data records, so data, into opportunities through a task-based system.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that a task-based system that each individual rep has access to, or is this a management tool?
Well, it's for the reps, but it also has a dashboard or an admin account for the managers to understand what's going on with their go-to-market strategy. Okay.
And what type of activities and actions, if you are a sales rep, today you get access to Bloobirds, what are those actions and activities that Bloobird enables?
Yeah. So Bloobirds is dealing with the top of the funnel.
Okay.
Right? So you will have visibility on your prospection pipeline, on what's your next step on each account that you are prospecting, and who and also what message to use to resonate the most with, a different segment of your go-to-market. So target market, company, ICP, and situation, right? A lot of people have been, thinking that personalization is, hey, let's tailor a message to VPs of sales. But you know that the VP of sales at Google is very different than the VP of sales of Bloobirds. Therefore, people are not appreciating to be lumped into the same box when their situation is quite different. So we also target based on the company situation, basically the company maturity level.
Really interesting and very powerful. Where kind of, just moving a little bit back to you as an individual, is there a book that you've read that's influenced your sales career?
Totally. I talk about this book a lot, and I even bought some shirts from
Wow.
this guy. Gap Selling from Keenan.
Yes.
Not only because of the content, but the guy has a lot of energy.
He does.
when sharing his information. I wasn't a product-oriented salesperson, but I realized through that book I was not the best problem-oriented salesperson.
Okay.
And this book really helped me.
Yeah.
Diagnose a situation for a prospect as if it was a friend, and then ask for the commitments, and also discussed about, the consequences of not making a change to get to those outcomes. So I really like that book. Yeah.
I love that. You're hiring now. You're looking to build a sales function for yourself, for your growth. What do you look for in a successful sales professional?
Yeah, good question, because people talk a lot about this, right? I'm a big fan of Mark Roberge and his data-driven, hiring and sales management. But I would say I really test for people ability to be empathetic and listening. So it's easy to ask, a salesperson, what are your top 3, most relevant skills to be successful? But I rarely hear people saying listening. So for me that's a key one.
Okay. And if you were kind of advising a younger sales professional, so our listeners are everyone from CEOs, founders, we even get often the venture capital community listening in, but really sales leaders, individual contributors, and an SDR. So, if you were looking at a younger sales professional and you were advising them, what would you advise them in terms of some positive actions they could take early on in their career to accelerate the career and achieve like you have at speed?
Yeah. Invest in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's going to look like money with a return on investment that is far away, but is actually not that far away.
Yeah.
I mean, invest in yourself. If not, your peers will do and your competition will do. And you don't want to be the same person in 5 years or even 12 months, right?
Valid, very, very good advice. Confidence. As you know, it's a really important aspect of our philosophy. And I'm just wondering, where have you got your confidence from at times? Where do you get your own confidence boost from?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think confidence is not a constant. I am, having too much of it and too little of it, depending on how my week goes.
Yeah.
But I think what has helped me achieve some level of consistency is building some rituals, right? Am I exercising enough, right? Am I around the people that give me energy instead of, sucking it from you? And building those rituals and having and being, disciplined with them. So I need, for example, to be around people that are stimulating, intelligent, where a few exchanges of conversation, I feel energized afterwards. So basically what happened yesterday at Sales Confidence, this gets me pumped. I feel confident, invincible, and making sure I don't miss taking care of myself, so that I'm always having, you know, the right level of energy on the day to day.
That leads nicely then to kind of our next question around how do you take care of yourself from a kind of a mental and physical well-being perspective to ensure that while you're driven for success, how do you make sure it's sustainable?
Very good question. You need someone on your corner. So once, by the way, I used to believe coaching was bullshit, and I've been working with coaches for the last 3 years, and they are on my corner. So whatever challenge I have, professional or personal, they got my back, which is also what I try to transmit to my team.
Yeah,
you're on that call. It's gonna be tough. I got your back. You're gonna mess up. You know, it's your first 6 months on the job. You're gonna make a mistake. I got your back.
Yes.
Right. And when you are in the room with me, I also feel the same. So I have people that are helping me understand, you know, when I'm going from play mode to working hard, which is not a fun state for me. Right. I want to be in a state where my energy is overflowing, and people who just, you know, can help me see the signs when I'm lacking awareness of, hey, you know, so you're gonna start tensing your body. You know, your tone voice is very serious lately. So people who help me with that, and then help me, you know, go back into my rituals of being healthy.
Fantastic. It's great to see. It's great to understand the impact of mentors and coaches in your development. Really excited how we're going to work together this year. Is there just a final thought or some kind of knowledge or experience you'd like to impart on our listeners before we wrap this up?
Yeah. I would really like to you know, motivate people to join the Sales Confidence membership program, because I think the value of it is going to increase with the amount of experiences, leadership, heavyweight skills from the people in this platform. So yeah, I did it. I saw other great people doing it.
Yes.
And one thing I've learned, you know, the most successful people out there ask for help.
Yes.
This is one thing that made me, you know, rethink coaching. So go out there, ask for help. You may be surprised. You may be, hey, worst case scenario, you make some friends. Right?
I agree, and
business.
Absolutely, and that's, I mean, let's be honest here. You know, we are highly motivated, high-performing individuals that are motivated to build our companies, drive sales success, but also along the way, we want to build relationships.
Totally.
You know, for us, if we can create that sense of belonging versus competition, actually, because we're peers, you know, we're working in different environments, then we can up-level each other faster. Totally. And that can only lead to more enjoyment and more deeper relationships. So, Italo, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on here. Super excited about what you're doing with your career, what you're going to be doing in London and the UK, and 2020 for us. So thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thank you, James.
Good
Thank
man.
you for having me.
Brilliant.
Cool.